In the bustling halls of Jefferson High School, where reputations were forged and futures debated, the debate club stood as the pinnacle of intellectual rivalry. But when racial prejudice meets undeniable talent, lessons unfold in the most unexpected ways. This is the story of a young black student who, against all odds, proved that teamwork and determination can transcend barriers and open minds. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a story. Jefferson High was a picture of suburban normalcy, its red brick facade and neatly trimmed lawns belying the subtle undercurrents of division within. For years, the debate club had been a cornerstone of the school's pride, producing champions who went on to prestigious colleges. However, it was an unwritten rule that the team was primarily for the academically elite, and this elite often excluded students of color. Amira Johnson, a bright and driven junior, had long admired the debate team from afar. Her love of words and razor-sharp arguments were evident in her classroom discussions, but she had never been invited to join. Her peers, mostly white, saw her as smart for her kind but not someone they could envision on the championship-winning team. When Mr. Lawrence, the passionate but no-nonsense debate coach, announced tryouts for the upcoming state competition, Amira saw her opportunity. The tryouts were grueling, with students debating topics ranging from climate change to ethical dilemmas. Amira's performance was stellar, her points precise, her delivery commanding. Still, when the final roster was posted, murmurs spread like wildfire through the school. Amira had made the team, muttered Claire Thompson, a senior and debate team captain. She's good in class, but debate is different. It's about finesse. I don't think she'll keep up, agreed Ryan, another team member. Even more controversial was Mr. Lawrence's decision to pair Claire and Amira as partners for the state championship. Claire, an ambitious and polished speaker, was furious. Mr. Lawrence, with all due respect, I don't think this is a good idea, she protested after practice. Claire, Mr. Lawrence replied, his tone firm, debate isn't about comfort zones. It's about strategy. Amira's potential is exactly what this team needs. Claire walked away, unconvinced. The weeks leading up to the competition were tense. During practice, Claire often dismissed Amira's suggestions, rolling her eyes or interrupting her mid-sentence. The other team members followed suit, openly mocking Amira's ideas. Are you sure you understand the topic? Ryan teased one afternoon. Amira bit her lip, determined not to let their words get to her. After practice, she stayed late, poring over research and refining her arguments. Mr. Lawrence noticed her dedication and quietly encouraged her. Don't let them shake you, Amira, he said one evening. You've got something special. Let them see it when it matters most. The weeks leading up to the competition were tense. During practice, Claire often dismissed Amira's suggestions, rolling her eyes or interrupting her mid-sentence. The other team members followed suit, openly mocking Amira's ideas. Are you sure you understand the topic? Ryan teased one afternoon. Amira bit her lip, determined not to let their words get to her. After practice, she stayed late, poring over research and refining her arguments. Mr. Lawrence noticed her dedication and quietly encouraged her. Don't let them shake you, Amira, he said one evening. You've got something special. Let them see it when it matters most. The day of the state championship arrived, and the auditorium buzzed with energy. Schools from across the state filled the room with their matching blazers, stacks of notes, and air of determination. Jefferson High's team was no different, though the tension between Claire and Amira was palpable. The first rounds began, and Jefferson High struggled. While Claire's polished delivery won some points, their arguments lacked the cohesion seen in other teams. Amira, though well-prepared, was often sidelined during speeches, reduced to quietly handing notes to Claire. By the time they reached the final round, Jefferson High was barely hanging on. Their opponents, an elite private school known for its debate prowess, were dominating with sharp rebuttals and eloquent speeches. The final round's topic was announced: does technology unite or divide us? Claire started strong, delivering a passionate argument about the unifying power of technology in education and global communication. Their opponents countered with an equally compelling argument about social media's role in fostering division and misinformation. When it was Amira's turn to deliver the closing argument, all eyes were on her. Taking a deep breath, she stepped to the podium. The room fell silent as she began to speak. Technology, like humanity itself, is neither inherently good nor bad. It is a tool, and its impact depends on how we wield it. But perhaps the real question isn't about technology at all. It's about whether we, as people, choose to unite or divide. Amira's voice was steady, her words poignant. She wove in examples of how marginalized communities had used technology to amplify their voices, how grassroots movements had sparked global change through the power of connection. Her argument was both logical and deeply emotional, leaving the audience spellbound. As she finished, there was a beat of stunned silence before the room erupted into applause. When the judges announced Jefferson High as the winners, the team was overjoyed. Claire, for the first time, looked at Amira with genuine respect. "I underestimated you," Claire admitted as they held their trophy together. "You carried us in that round. I'm sorry for how I treated you." Amira smiled, her confidence shining. "It's okay. Winning as a team is what matters back at school." The victory made headlines. Amira's performance became the talk of Jefferson High, and her peers began to see her in a new light. The debate team dynamic shifted, with Amira earning her rightful place as a respected member. For Claire, the experience was transformative. She realized how her biases had blinded her to Amira's talent and vowed to be a better teammate and leader. The state championship was just weeks away, and Jefferson High was abuzz with anticipation. After their recent regional victory, Amira had become a school celebrity. Students who had once ignored her now smiled in the hallways or stopped to congratulate her. Teachers referenced her speeches in class, and even the principal mentioned her during morning announcements. But with the newfound fame came immense pressure. Everyone, from her peers to the faculty, looked to Amira as the team's secret weapon, the key to maintaining Jefferson High's sterling debate reputation. "You've got this, Amira," one student called as she passed him in the cafeteria. "Don't let us down," another added, though his tone was more cautionary than encouraging. The debate team's attitude had shifted entirely. Claire, once dismissive, now took the lead in organizing extra practice sessions and even texted Amira reminders to ensure she never missed them. Ryan, who had once mocked her, now listened intently during her speeches, nodding in approval and offering constructive feedback. Despite the growing camaraderie, the team knew the stakes were higher than ever. The state championship wasn't just another trophy, it was a chance to uphold Jefferson High's legacy against the best teams in the state, including some of the most prestigious private schools. Amira's schedule became a whirlwind of practice sessions, strategy meetings, and late-night research marathons. The topic for the championship had been announced: does tradition hinder or help progress? It was a complex, multifaceted subject, and the team worked tirelessly to prepare arguments for both sides. Claire spearheaded the team's preparation, dividing tasks and ensuring everyone stayed on track. "We're up against Hamilton Prep in the first round," she said during one meeting. "They're undefeated this season, so we need to bring our A game." Amira, now confident in her role, took the lead in crafting their rebuttal strategies. Her insights were sharp, and her ability to find flaws in opposing arguments impressed even the most skeptical team members. "Amira, that's brilliant," Ryan admitted during one practice. "I wouldn't have thought of that angle." "Thanks," she replied with a modest smile. "It's a team effort." But behind her composed exterior, Amira felt the weight of expectations pressing down on her. She knew that the school's reputation, and her own, was on the line. The state championship took place in a grand auditorium packed with students, teachers, and proud parents. Jefferson High arrived in matching blazers, their faces a mix of determination and nervous energy. Amira stood at the center of the group, her calm demeanor masking the butterflies in her stomach. The competition was fierce. In the preliminary rounds, Jefferson High faced teams with polished speakers and airtight arguments. While Claire and Ryan held their own, it was Amira's sharp rebuttals and eloquent delivery that gave them the edge they needed to advance. "She's incredible," one judge murmured to another after a particularly compelling speech. By the time they reached the final round, Jefferson High was the underdog against Belmont Academy, a team known for their relentless precision and ruthless tactics. The tension in the room was palpable as the final debate began. The topic, "Does tradition hinder or help progress?" was one that Belmont Academy seemed born to argue. Their opening statements were flawless, weaving in historical examples and statistical data with ease. Claire and Ryan responded with strong arguments of their own, but Belmont's rebuttals were cutting, exposing weaknesses in Jefferson High's case. The audience buzzed with anticipation, sensing that Belmont had the upper hand. When it came time for the closing argument, all eyes turned to Amira. This was her moment. Taking a deep breath, she stepped to the podium, her voice steady and clear. "Tradition and progress are not enemies. They are partners," she began, her words commanding the room's attention. Amira spoke of how traditions could provide a foundation for innovation, citing examples of movements that had reimagined old practices to create new possibilities. She balanced her argument with stories of traditions that had stifled change, calling for a critical examination of which ones to uphold and which to leave behind. Her speech was both logical and deeply emotional, painting a picture of progress as a journey rooted in understanding the past while striving for a better future. As she finished, the room erupted in applause, the sound echoing through the auditorium. When the judges announced Jefferson High as the winners, the team erupted in cheers, their excitement palpable. Amira was at the center of it all, her teammates lifting her in celebration. "You were amazing, Amira," Claire said, genuine admiration in her voice. "You carried us again," Ryan added, clapping her on the back. Amira's victory was more than just a personal triumph, it was a turning point for Jefferson High. The school's reputation was cemented, and Amira's name became synonymous with excellence. Offers began pouring in from other schools and debate organizations. Some teams were willing to pay double what Jefferson High could afford just to have Amira on their roster. She was invited to speak at conferences and featured in local news segments as a rising star in the debate world. Despite the attention, Amira stayed grounded, always crediting her success to teamwork and the support of those who had believed in her. Mr. Lawrence, beaming with pride, summed it up best during a school assembly. "Amira didn't just win a championship, she changed the way we see each other. She reminded us that talent and determination know no boundaries." Amira's journey from being underestimated to becoming a champion reminds us all of the power of perseverance, talent, and unity. Her story isn't just about winning a debate, it's about breaking down barriers and proving that greatness can come from anywhere. Amira's story shows the importance of believing in oneself and embracing the strength of diversity. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful tales of resilience and triumph. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that they can achieve anything with determination and hard work. What's your story of overcoming challenges? Let us know in the comments below.